Hi, everyone. Author and speaker Laura Diehl here with a word of encouragement for you. I want to talk to you this week about a powerful key that you have. I've talked about this before, but I just feel in my heart that I want to share this word with you again. One of the most powerful keys that you and I have that will unlock yourself from the chains of grief and the chains of death. And I'm talking about when we find ourselves in that place of suffocating darkness after the death of our child. One of those keys, the most powerful keys that we have, is to be thankful. And this is something that we choose to do. Um, I know that depth of darkness, and it's easy for us to say, no, I can't. I have nothing to be thankful for. But that really isn't true. We're just in this dark place, and we can't see the truth. And the things that we have that we still have in our lives that we can be thankful for, it's not based on our emotions or how we feel, but it's based on the truth of who God is and who he still is, even though he allowed this horrible pain in our lives. I encourage you to start with small things. Just take a minute and look around you right now and see what's around you. What is around you right now that you can be thankful for? I'm going to assume that you're sitting in a nice warm home somewhere. You're not out on the street. Especially right now, it's December, out in the snow in the winter. That is something to be thankful for, that you have a roof on your head, that you have food in your refrigerator or in your pantry. I guess I'm making some assumptions, but we all have things that we can be thankful for. Maybe I can be thankful for these pictures that I have. I can be thankful that personally I have a prayer room that I can come into and just spend time crying and soaking in God's presence or sleeping, whatever I need to do. Look around and find these things that you can say, I guess this is something that I do still have in my life. I know we'd rather have our child here with us, but that doesn't take away the fact that we really have not lost absolutely everything. I think of Job in the Bible. He pretty much did. Seven of his children, all of his finances. He became extremely ill, scraping, oozing boils from his body. His wife just said, curse God and die, because he had lost everything. I really don't think that's the case with anyone watching this, and I'm trying to say this as gently as I can, because I know that darkness. I know that deep grief that you can't even put words to, that you feel like is just suffocating you and that you can't live another minute. I know that. But I'm encouraging you that there is a way to break through that, and that is by forcing yourself, not based on your feelings, but forcing yourself to begin to look around and find things that you can be thankful for. Even if you don't feel it, speak your words of thanks to God, who made sure that this wasn't the end. But it's actually, the death of our child was actually a transfer into the beginning of something so wonderful that it can't even be fully described. I think of Romans 8, which tells us that our suffering cannot even be compared to the glory that's going to be revealed in us. Now, that's quite a promise, and I am holding God to that. I hope you are too, that this suffering that we are going through here on this earth cannot even be compared to the glory that our child is experiencing and the glory that we will have in eternity. But I also believe that there's a glory that we can still experience here on this earth as we begin to work our way through this. We're never going to be past it or over it, but I do believe we can work through it, and we can come to a place that we never thought we could be in. One of the things that I did was that I had a journal that all I did was every night before I went to bed, I made myself write a minimum of 3 to 5 things that I could be thankful for that day. And so I recommend you do that. I recommend you get just a notebook, and all you do, either before you get up in the morning, before you get out of bed, you write 3 to 5 things that you are thankful for, that you can be thankful for. Before you go to bed at night, do the same thing. Write down 3 to 5 things that you can be thankful for, that you are thankful for. And as we begin to do that, as we begin to start with these small things, and we begin to force ourselves to look at the blessings that we do still have and the things that we can be thankful for, if you do it consistently and consciously, then you're going to find a spark of hope that's going to start igniting inside of you. And when you keep going, it's going to turn into light that's going to begin to pierce that darkness in your life, and it's going to begin to bring life back into your soul. So I encourage you to keep that journal and do that. I want to close with a scripture. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 15. This is taken from the Message Bible, and it says, "But let me tell you something wonderful, a mystery I'll probably never fully understand. In the resurrection scheme of things, this has to happen. Everything perishable taken off the shelves and replaced by the imperishable. This mortal replaced by the immortal. Then the saying will come true, death swallowed by triumphant life. Who got the last word, O death? O death, who's afraid of you now? It was sin that made death so frightening, and law code guilt that gave sin its leverage, its destructive power. But now, in a single victorious stroke of life, all three, sin, guilt, and death, are gone. They are the gift of our Master, Jesus Christ. Thank God." And so that is one thing that we can start with, by thanking God that death is not the end. As much as it hurts, it's not the end. It's a transfer into our final home, and we will see our child and we will join them again. For whatever reason, they were allowed to transfer out of here into the glory ahead of us, and they will be waiting for us. I am so thankful for that. If we'd love to connect with you, you can find us on our website, www.gpshope.org. We have a Facebook page. If you haven't seen us there, just go to facebook.com, put in /GPS Hope. That stands for Grieving Parents Sharing Hope. So find us there and connect with us there. And subscribe to the YouTube channel here if you haven't already, so that you won't miss out on any of these words. And I always end with a word of hope that I show. And I want to show you this. This is a journal that I bought over the summer. And I actually bought it for the purpose of using for this word of hope. But it also, I want to give it to somebody. I'm serious. I want to give this to somebody. It's unused. I want to give this to you. It has inside, let's see if I can get it here. It has just the word of hope on each page with a scripture verse. There's a different scripture on every single page. And so I would love to give this to you. So I'm going to give this to the very first person who goes to our website, www.gpshope.org, and go to the Contact Us. Click on that and send me an email and say, "I saw your video. I would love for you, please send me the Hope Journal." And I'll get your address, and I will mail this to you. I will give this to you because I really, really, really want you to use this key to be broken from the chains of the bondage of the darkness of our grief. And with that, remember that we are here to be a light of hope in your place of darkness.